Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be taking a deeper look at the newest record from Owl City. This one is called Cinematic. Owl City, also known as singer-songwriter Adam Young, Mr. Firefly himself, is returning with his sixth studio release of his career. And wow, it's certainly been a long time since I've heard this man's music. I saw the album come up on the iTunes pre-order list a while ago, and I was intrigued, to say the least, to see where Adam Young was taking his sound and his direction. And out of a couple of requests from some friends, I figured, hey, it might be worth a shot to check it out. And was I surprised? Not too much, but there's a couple of mixing of genres in here that caught my ear. Notably, All My Friends sounds a little bit country influenced, and I was really thrown a loop with that. But Adam Young's vocal performances on this, I don't know, it just comes across like he's Weird Al or something. And besides a few songs that mix up the genres a little bit and change up the formula, I don't know, this album just goes in one ear and out the other. The record kicks off with the song Fiji Water, and this beat drop, I don't even know if you can call it a beat drop, but whatever it is, just sounds so muddy that the melody just gets lost in the entire mix. Another song, Wren, which is about bird watching, has a painfully obvious whistle and sample of a songbird to make the song's title come true. And man, the chorus on this thing, especially the third time through, just feels like a corny 2000s pop punk song with its polished production of the power chords on the guitar. The redeemable feature of this song, Wren, though, is the amazing synth solo, but unfortunately, it just disappears way too quick. It's honestly like I just get into a song, I start bobbing my head, and it's like, oh, where'd that go? If I had to pick a song that I like off this album, not too many come to mind, or I can't really remember them, but Not All Heroes Wear Capes is probably one of the better ones. Not lyrically, though, because it's the most cringeworthy piece of pop trash that I've ever heard. But hey, if you don't listen to the vocals, you get a decent display of guitar riffs and solo in there. Montana is a weird one that just sounds like a mix of Blink-182 and Weird Al. And that's just a weird combination of artists. And then you get Adam Young over top of this overly produced song trying to preach this big message of letting your heart lead the way. Like, don't get me wrong, I do side with the positive sentiments of this record, but I just feel like they come off as too corny or cheesy for me to actually enjoy. Lucid Dream was a song on this record that got me pumped up, especially through the first verse. I was like, okay, this is building some energy. For the first 30 seconds of the song, we get these synthesizers that are pretty introspective, and then around 40 seconds, a Deadmau5-inspired synth pops in, and then it starts building a lot of energy for the song. And then what do we get? It's probably the most unsatisfying climax to a song ever. Do you believe in curiosity and things you cannot see, is what Adam Young says. Wow. The bass drum on this beat drop doesn't even kick through with any punch. The vocal delivery has about the same energy as the verse. And I really blame that all on the production, just for compressing all the vocals so much that it's like you don't even know what section of the song that you're in. But you know why the climax sounds exactly like the verse is because there's actually a second climax. Out of nowhere, we get these layered vocals of this chorus chanting, "That's how you study the stars." And then the second climax fades out, the dynamics go from way up here and just fall straight to the ground, then you have to crank up the volume on whatever device you're using. Not only is it frustrating to keep adjusting the volume, I just feel like this song is in a constant state of introduction with no satisfaction. And that's not what you want in climaxes of songs, especially ones that build up so much sonic excitement beforehand. It's just a tease. Always is another track on Cinematic that has some guitars chugging along, but they're so quiet in the mix, even if you're listening as close as possible, you won't even notice that they're there. Ultimately, it's the maxed out volume on the synthesizers with all the effects that just make this song way too distracting for a melody that doesn't even come remotely close to memorable. Cloud 9 is a painfully generic pop cut that tries to mix up the pop song formula with the dynamics. The snares are way too loud in the chorus. They emphasize the beats 2 and 4, which are the backbeat for a reason. It's as if Adam Young was desperately wanting someone to clap along so they could just tune out his horrible singing. Like, the first verse is fine, it's nicely mixed with the vocals, but the second verse changes the key, and it's the most awkward thing ever, and you don't anticipate it. Typically, key changes should be happening with the chorus, but this does it with a verse, and that just really weird. And then at 2 minutes and 3 seconds into the song, there's a nice quick keyboard solo, but like House Wren, it's just way too short, and I think that's because of the pop influence, which is unfortunate because these solos have unique sounds and tones to them. I just wish this album had a bit more of a progressive sound to it. Another horrible song off this album is called Madeline Island. Sure, it has some tropical influence to the synthesizers, much like Fiji Water, but there's more bird sounds on this and what sounds like a cute little chickadee. And much like the bird sounds, the overly positive messages in the lyrics, this album is just quickly descending into cheesy pop music at this point. Be Brave is another track on Cinematic that doesn't have much of a melody to it, and I feel like a lot of these songs don't either. And even if they do, they just blend all together and it's hard to like sort through them and even remember any of them. And the main issue with Be Brave as a song is the horrible mixing of the dynamics. It probably even beats out Lucid Dream, which already had these thunderous and deafening sounds. Skipping ahead to the final song on this record, which is the title track. Seriously, if you make it up to this point in the album, you deserve the old pat on the back. I still find it hysterical how this song ironically says don't be dramatic because life is cinematic. Like seriously, I think it should just look in the mirror and see what it's doing to hide behind the excessively bright and polished production. And geez, the Star Wars reference, just uncalled for. It's like the last thing that this album was trying to throw at the ceiling hoping to stick, but no, it just comes falling back down and knocks you unconscious. There's rhymings of the words magic, cinematic, dramatic. I think the only ick that this song was forgetting was to call itself ick. And does Adam Young realize that movies are meant to be an outlet for people to pretend to be someone else for once? Well, you know, unless you're Seth Rogen, but I bet even he wouldn't be too stoned to figure out that this music is way too preachy. Hands down, Cinematic by Owl City is probably one of the worst albums to be released this year. Its lyrics are an abomination when in reality it's just trying to rally or motivate people to do something. And Adam Young's vocal performances do keep the promise to stay true to himself, but so much like himself that he never mixes anything up or comes out of his comfort zone. I like parts of songs. There were glimmers of intelligence on this project, however in very small doses with the keyboard solos on Cloud 9 and House Wren. But because of the pop song structure, the short length of the solos kind of just feel like they're given a disservice. And seriously, if Adam Young went for a bit more of a progressive approach in the songwriting and eased off with the over-the-top sentiments, we'd probably have a much more interesting collection of music here. And it's okay if Adam wants to stick to his sound here on Cinematic. Not everyone's going to enjoy every pop release of the year. I'm not trying to get him to switch up his style either, it's just my opinion. So I'm giving the new Owl City record a 1 out of 10. It's a number 1 to go with his only other number 1, Fireflies. But hey, sound off down below in the comments. Let's keep the discussion rolling. Agree or disagree, I'm here to engage with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My name is Ryan from True North Reviews, and as always, have a rockin' day. Thanks for watching.